This is a GAN 11M Pro that I just cleaned. And let me tell you, after I clean this thing, it just feels like incredible. I never really believed in cleaning my cubes just because I thought like, oh, you know, it's clean the cube. It's just gonna get dirty anyway after you solve it. But here's the thing. When you've solved your cube like a billion times like I have, like this GAN 11 is my main, when all the dirt and grime and schmutz starts to get in the cube, plus DNM 37 has black dye in it, it gets filthy in there. So I figured for this video I would just very quickly demonstrate the difference that cleaning your cube can actually make, because it actually is like absolutely incredible. Like, I could barely control this cube because I was not used to how much faster it had gotten after I had cleaned it. So I did originally want to demonstrate this on this Moyu RS3M 2020. As you can see in there, there is quite a bit of like schmutz getting into that. But I didn't want to waste a bunch of time adjusting these screws, because these things are like actually becoming the bane of my existence. GAN has really spoiled me with their numerical IPG system. So we're going to be demonstrating this on this GAN 356XS, which it's hard to see because it has black internals, but I'm pretty sure this needs cleaning too. So I'm going to start by doing a hand scramble on this cube and then just doing a quick solve, and I will let you know how it feels. And then we will clean this out together. And I'll show you, or I'll try and describe to you the difference after it's been cleaned. Okay, so that's my time right there, and this cube did feel a little bit slower than a GAN cube should feel, and it wasn't nearly as smooth. It felt a little bit gummy. Like, this GAN 11M Pro turning actually feels like incredibly fluid, and I can just do everything so effortlessly. And that's how this GAN XS used to feel, but after going such a long time without cleaning it, it feels a little like gummy or sticky on the outside, and it's also a little bit slower than this freshly cleaned 11M Pro. So we're gonna try and see if we can't give this thing a jump start and breathe some new life into it. Get out of the way, Stack Mat. All right, so you really only need two tools to clean the inside of your cube. First off, I've got a sponge. This thing is literally called the Sponge Daddy. Yes, that's his actual name. And basically what I've done is I've gotten it just a little bit damp by letting it soak a ton of water up and then squeezing just as much of that water out as I possibly could. And that's kind of the level of moisture that you want to go for when you're cleaning the inside of your cube. And then also for the nooks and crannies, I have a piece of paper towel that I've prepared in the same way. I don't necessarily want to be too thorough in cleaning this, so I may not even need this, but it's good to have if you really want to like detail your cube. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to completely disassemble this thing. You might need a box because these are like, this comes apart and these are like little bits that can easily get lost. I also have the spring compression tool. This will be for when we put the cube back together. This is the one that came with the GAN 11, but it works just fine with the XS as well. So now with the center cap off and the pieces and the spring out, we can just take this apart. Now we just need to pop the rest of the centers out, get the rest of these out. Ugh. My hands are already getting like super greasy. I can tell that this cube has had like multiple coatings of lube applied to it. Ugh. I have to actually use a wet paper towel to get all the greasiness off my hands. Okay, so now with the cube fully disassembled, This is the most tedious part of cubing, and why so many cubers hate cleaning their cubes. We're gonna have to go through each piece one by one and take whatever we want to get rid of all the schmutz that's stuck in it and just wipe it all down. Now I have to be a little bit more careful with this cube because the GAN 11 had primary internals, so it was easy to see the difference in how much stuff there was in it. This has black internals, so all the dirt and grime is really difficult to see, but I'm just gonna wipe this down like that, move on to the next one, and wait or keep going until, I don't know, I guess it feels kind of dry because there's tons of excess lube in this thing. I mean, you can already see how much has gotten onto this sponge. That's just the schmutz from solving the cube, as well as the black dye from this DNM37. You know, I have a preheated oven over there, and it's waiting to accept some frozen chicken nuggets and fries. But I'm too focused on cleaning this damn cube to be bothered with making something to eat right now. Alright, the last corner is done. Doesn't feel anywhere near as greasy as it did when I took the cube apart. Next, the edges. I mean, look at how much of this the sponge has picked up by this point, and it is starting to feel like maybe it's becoming a little less effective. Let me get some of this grease off my fingers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clean this off and re-wet it, re-moisten it, and then we will continue with the rest of the pieces in the cube. Oh yeah, look at that. That was from just one edge piece right there. Alright, so now with all the edge pieces done, what I think you should do is also just do the centers, at least the outsides of them. Because as you can see, this part of the edge rubs against the center, and there's a lot of chance for like lube and schmutz to get on it. So this should be a pretty easy cleanup. You just kind of wipe it down like this. Maybe use the center of the sponge that has not been dirtied up already. And then just to be thorough, I mean, I don't know if these are entirely necessary steps, but you can also clean out the core of the cube, as well as the center caps, which do have like just the littlest, tiniest amount of grime in that. I don't know if you can see it because it's struggling to focus, but it's definitely there. So it's quick, just an extra step you can probably skip if you don't want to put in that extra amount of effort. Alright, and now all the pieces of the cube have been cleaned, so all that's left to do is just put this thing back together. Have fun watching me struggle through this, folks. Okay, we got the bits. Oh, looks like the springs have quite a bit of schmutz in them too. Might want to clean those. Nope, that is on the inside of the spring, I'm pretty sure. Yep, I just wiped that spot down. Did not make a difference, so I don't think this is exactly going to work. See, the hardest part about putting these GAN cubes together is like, there's always a chance that the springs and crap could fall out. I say it's a small sacrifice though, because I don't have to waste tons of time getting the screws just right. Whoops. Oh, get in there. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Quitter. Alright, now that that's all back together, you can give it a few turns. Should feel a little bit dry at this stage. This one doesn't, because I may not have done a thorough job wiping it down. Either that, or there's some water in it that still needs to dry, but who cares? Alright, so now what we need to do is just get this thing set up the way I like it, with the correct tension and spring compression. Okay, yeah, now that the water inside from my cleaning is starting to evaporate, it actually is starting to feel a little bit dry, which is good. That means all of the lube residue that we wiped out is gone. So now we just gotta put all these center caps back on it. And now we just have to put some new lube in. This is Cubicle Labs DNM 37. I use this in all of my cubes because it makes them super fast. But you, of course, can just go with your preferred lube of choice. Hey, Cubicle, I've bought all of my cubes from you at this point. Sponsor me, please. You can make the discount code SNECK. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what you want. Alright, I've given this kind of a hand scramble to break the lube in a little bit. Let's do an inspection and then a quick solve on this thing. Oh! Look at that. That's pretty good, isn't it? It actually feels ridiculously good compared to how it was before I cleaned it. It's actually become so fast, and turning has become so effortless that, like with my GAN 11, it's actually become a little bit difficult to control, because I'm so used to how the schmutz has slowed it down. So, what is the lesson for today? Clean your cubes. If you haven't cleaned your cube in a while, especially if it's your main, set aside the time to clean it someday. You will notice the difference, I swear.